Alvarenga Realty Group. This is Nelson Alvarenga, and I want to show you what to do after you signed up with your local board. So this is after you've already signed up with Aura or whichever local board you go to, you signed up with. You paid your dues, and now it's time. You have MLS access, and you want to go into the MLS to do searches and things. So what you'll do is you'll come to this page here, stellarmls.com, as you can see here on the browser. And then you're going to log in. You put in your ID that was given to you by your local board and the password that you have. You go into it. So once you go into it, you're going to come to this page here, something similar to this. Okay, when you're in this page, this is like the page before you go into the MLS, okay? What you're gonna do on the left here, I have Form Simplicity here. I think it was down here at one point or somewhere, but you can put it up here, pin it here, you see? Unpin favorite, you can pin favorites here, okay? And I think they come from somewhere else, I don't know. But anyway, all right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna click here where it says Matrix, okay, click on that. That takes you right into the MLS. And when you go into the MLS, you're in here right now. This is the main page right here that all the realtors go into when they first log into the MLS. This is the main page for everybody. It may look a little bit different, but this is pretty much the same. You can configure all this to have different things or put these things in different places, but this is pretty much it, okay? So what we're gonna go over today is I wanna do a couple of things. I wanna do searches first, okay? I wanna show you the menu. The menu, this is the menu you'll be using up here, all of this. Out of all this, you will hardly be using market reports unless you have a listing presentation. Add, edit, this is only used for when you have a listing, you're gonna add a property into the MLS or you're gonna edit it. If you've already gotten the listing and you need to modify something, you go here. Finance, let's not worry about that for now. These things have never worked for me. I don't like them. I use other net sheets and things. Links, different links that are available, taxes. This I want to go over right now, okay? Because all of these menu options, you don't use them too much. Tax, you will be using it, and stats, you don't use it that much. Matrix here, you may use this a little bit, but search and tax, these are the two that you'll be using the most here in the MLS, okay? So let's go over tax first. Tax. Okay, so the way you do this is you go to one of these. These three are pretty much services that the MLS has to provide tax information on properties. This is all taken from the property appraiser's website, from the public records and all that. So but they give you a little bit more information. So let's go over public records right now. Public records, okay. So this page right here allows you to look up a property. Maybe you should look up your own. Okay, so I'm gonna look up my own, 12290 Pasha Lane. And I can put Lane here, but I choose not to because I have known that the less you put in there, the more you get and you have more options. So as I entered this, I don't know if you noticed down here on the bottom left, it says one match, okay. So we go to results down here, all right. Click on that, and this is my property. It's under my wife's name, Luana Alvarenga. That's the way we have it set up, and it gives you information about it, okay. All of this information. So you can click here and it takes you to a map, not a big deal. You can try that on your own. This information is what's important, okay, from the county records. So let's click on there. Okay, this is something that you want to print or take with you to a listing appointment about the house. It has the details, the characteristics of the house, how big it is. As you can see down here, it's pretty much 2,000 square feet, 1999, two-car garage and all that, okay? So it was built in 2011. All that information is here. Okay, this doesn't tell you how much the taxes are or anything, but look at here, estimated value. The real AVM value is 615,500. That is what is estimated that this property could sell for according to robots that automatically, assess the property, do kind of like a quick comparative market analysis. So so just look over this information is summarized for you in this page, okay? And you can see down here, you can go to last listing, photos, history, parcel map, flood map. You can play with all this menu and see additional information about your property that you're searching, okay? Here you can see the map, and here's what you entered for the property. So that's for that. You can down here email it to somebody. You can play with that. I can on a later video I can show you how to email and use all this, but for right now we're focusing on property taxes. It's the first thing. You can print it and do all that. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so taxes. Where are we? Search and tax right here. So we went to public records first. Okay, now we're going to go to iMapp, and then we'll go to Realist. So iMapp is next. Click on that. And then this, we're going to put the property address here. As you can see, property is street address. Okay, right there. So it's 12290 Pasha, where I live. That's it. And then you click down here where it says star search. Boom. And you can play with this. This gives you information about the property again. Now this gives you a little bit more information, as you can see down here. It gives you values of the appraiser, property county appraiser, down here for each year. And then here is sales information. Who sold to whom? As you can see here, my wife and I, we bought it from, this is the seller here. This was the seller, this is the buyer, the last one. Prior to this, and this tells you who the bank is that we got. So Trustco Bank is still our bank, mortgage company. And then, anyway, this is just information here, okay? So now down here is the previous sales. So originally the house was sold by Devosta Homes, the builder, sold it to this person here, who ended up selling it to us here. He became the seller here, and we became the buyer here. Okay, so you can see that. Also down here, I just want to point out these things to you. You can play with all this by yourself, okay, and kind of like discover all this. But one of the things that you can do the RPR value, property details. When you click on that, it'll probably ask you for a username and password for you, because if it's your first time, just do that. Get in. Once you get in, it tells you what the value of the property is right now currently. But this is an estimate. All these automatic values are estimates, okay? So you can look at details about the property there. One of the things I want to point out to you is, for instance, previous listing deed. Let me see what else we can find that's interesting here. Estimated value. Okay, so I guess I thought the schools were here somewhere. Market trend, revised CMA, neighborhood updates. Okay, so that's it. We're going to exit this here. Okay, you can look at it on your own. That's what that is. Google Maps, Google Driving Direction, Big Map Demographics, Residential Stats. Here is one that you'll be using a lot, maybe if you use this, but I don't really recommend that you use this. You're going to use the MLS, because this is not the MLS. You're using sort of like a mix of MLS and tax information here. But if you click on this, and what I want you to use is really just the MLS, but this is just tax information. If you click on there, it gives you sales, okay, right here. And these sales are, as you can see here, it says comparable properties. So these are comparable sales to my house. And if you look where it says R here for realtor, this was sold through the MLS. This one was not, the first one. This one sold through the MLS, through the MLS, through the MLS, through a realtor, in other words, but these were not. Okay, and sometimes you will have need to know more about the property, because the more you know, the better. They're still comparable sales, even though they didn't sell through the MLS or through a realtor. So that's how this helps you. And then details about the house and things like that are here. Let's see what else, property tax. Download the property. Okay, so just take a look at all that. Okay, it gives you different information about the property taxes. And so we're going to close on that, and we're going to go back here to taxes. So we've looked at public records in iMapp. Now we're going to look at Realist. Okay, and Realist is another public search. Okay, which should be coming up here in a little bit. It's loading. I don't know why it's taking so long. It's usually fast. But take a look here. We put the property address. I recommend you put your address, Pasha. Okay, and I do search, and it finds the property right here. This is my wife's name and all the details about the property. Okay, and similar information to what you found on the other one, still gives you the real AVM value, which is 615. That's good information for you to have. If you're going to do a listing, that's why you would use all this, okay? But also if you have a buyer, the buyers usually want to know, hey, when was this property? I want to buy it, but you found the property for your buyer. They say, I want to know how long the current owner has owned it, how much did they buy it for, sold it for. All that is public information anyway, so all this will give you that here. One thing to point out here, look, there's a menu here that you can click on: comparables, market trends, neighbor, a flood map. All these things are important information. You can just look through all that if it's your first time, and have fun with it. One thing I want to point out, very important, is this here. This is tax information. It takes you directly. It's highlighted in blue. Click on it, and that's the tax ID for the property. It takes you to the property appraisers, which is where all this information is coming from. And if you look here, I'm going to put Pasha, search, okay, and then you find it here. This is public records, okay. Buildings, values, you can take a look at all that. Go crazy with this. Don't worry about it too much. Okay, so we're going to close on that. So now then we have gone through, I think I need to close on this one too, yeah. All right, so here we went through this tab. That is Realist, iMapp, and public records, okay? That is necessary for you to look up when somebody wants to sell their house. You definitely want to go into all these and see what you can find. When somebody wants to buy a house, you can also do this and give them information before you make the offer, you know. So that's needed too. So that's basically it for property tax information, excuse me. All right, and I'll see you on the next video.